Howdy, howdy, guys. So I just got back from a run, and let's talk. Because during my run, I got the most amazing question from somebody who stopped me and was like, listen, I want to ask you something. So they asked me, she was saying, I don't know what I want to be. And she was saying she thinks she might want to be a life coach, but she's not sure, and she's flip-flopped around from so many different jobs. And because of her brilliant question, I had a brilliant an epiphany, and it was this. I've always called myself a jack of all trades because my entire life I have bebopped from experience to experience. I've explored myself in so many different ways as a photographer, as a veterinary ophthalmology anesthetist slash nurse slash everything, to owning my own business, personal trainer, on and on and on. You know, we all do this. Not one of us doesn't have this kind of a story where you have so many labels. Even my own father, who was a doctor by trade, and that was his day job, he also had many, many, many labels. He wasn't just a doctor, right? And neither are you. So anyway, going way off subject here. So what I told her, actually I told her I'd do a video not answer her question because I'm running and I didn't want to be interrupted. Sorry, honey. I appreciate your question because it gave me this aha. So it was this. In order to be a life coach, you have to see people as broken. A life coach does what? It guides, it serves, it saves people. It shows people how to be happier, how to be better, how to do this or that, right? But in order to do that, you have to see them as broken and needing to be fixed. And guys, remember, everybody out there is you. It's just you pushed out. It's just, that's you right there you're looking at. And so if you're looking at yourself and you're saying, oh, you're broken, I need to fix you, that becomes a vicious cycle. That becomes a vicious circle. Because if you probably have heard the saying, you can't get poor enough to help the poor. You can't get sick enough to help the sick. You can't get broke enough to help the broke, you know? It's like this. You're in a rowboat and you're out looking for people who are drowning. That's basically what you're doing there. You're gonna find somebody who's drowning. Sooner or later, you're gonna find them because you're looking for that. So you're going to create that. But the problem is, you come up to this person who's drowning and they want to sit there while they're drowning and talk about drowning and talk about how they got to drowning and why they got to drowning and who caused their drowning. You know, they want to get there. And you're just like, give me your fucking hand and get in the boat. and if you manage to get them into the boat, chances are they're going to jump out of the boat and back in the water because that's where they're comfortable. The whole drowning. That's who they know. But, and that's not exactly true. Because the reason they will jump out of the boat and back in the water is because you created that person drowning. And that's the role you gave them to play. All right? So it's like this. You're up here, they're down here. You're up here in the boat, they're down here drowning. The only way that you can help somebody that's drowning is you have to get out of the boat and get down to their level and start discussing drowning. You think you're up here and you can discuss to them how not to drown. But in order for you to discuss with them how not to drown, you have to acknowledge that there's such a thing as drowning. And that becomes that black hole, right? So you have to just don't even get in a boat. Don't even go look for people who are drowning. So my thing is this. I've stopped giving myself labels as far as, I don't know, motivational speaker or anything like that. The only label I will embody is Kristen motherfucking Clark. That's the only label. That's it. Because within that is everything. within that, when I think, okay, what kind of a job do I want to do? That feels right. So a friend of mine was telling me her son, he was in the military because she knew my son was in the military. Her son's in the military, and then he gets out and he's kind of like aimless. He doesn't know what he wants to do. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, what's his name? And I'm just going to say Mike. And she's just like, well, his name is Mike. And I said, okay, well, there's his job. That's his job, to be Mike. To be Mike in all the wondrous, fascinating, fantastic ways Mike gets to be Mike. And it's not your job to make Mike what you want Mike to be. You just focus on you. And in your mind, in your imagination, you can make Mike what you want him to be because you are the writer of this novel and this story. You are the director. You are the producer. So once again, if you expect Mike to be shiftless and aimless and all that, guess what? Guess what? You're going to give yourself memories that are going to support that, and Mike is going to play that role. So the only thing you need to do with Mike is, in your mind, see Mike as outrageously successful. Whatever that is. You don't have to give him a job. He's already got a job, and that's just playing the role you gave him, which is Mike. Okay, so this doesn't exactly answer my girlfriend's question of, I don't know what I'm going to be, but it does. You're going to be you. The job you're going to do is you. The job that you are the best at, that nobody has to teach you. You don't have to learn. You don't have to get a fucking degree. You don't have to do any of those things. Is you. That is the job you always come back to. When you're done playing in these jobs over there, what do you come back to? You. When you get another job over here and you come back, who do you come back to? You. And if you can, in this moment right now, see that this is the most lucrative job, hugely successful job, that it is the easiest and the most fun to be in, then this job can become everything you want it to be. But you're the writer, so you write it. And quit trying to save people. They're not broken. Not one person out there is broken. And you're not doing anybody any favors seeing that they are. See everybody as hugely successful, hugely rich and famous and happy and joyful and healthy and vibrant and on and on. All right, take care.